anybody present that would like to speak on any of these matters, you're welcome to do so. When you get that, if you would come up, speak loudly, you'd put your name, your address and what agenda item or address that you're speaking on. And we'll move those who are here in person off the agenda. What address are you? Yeah, okay. So you've got here. We've got 37 Madison, we've got 28 Main, 8.5 South, and 26. Once present.
All right,
Go
I
with,
will just call it, and start on with,
we'll go with number 2.
number 2, change that now. And, right there in the low.
So that would be you, Chris Anderson.
Do I come up there? or-
Yeah, do you want to come up and
Yeah, you're,
tell them?
I'm gonna call the, welcome everybody to the, July 28th, 2025 meeting of the City of Cortland zoning board of appeals. Sorry for the delay, but we are gonna call meeting to order here at precisely 9:57. First item on the agenda is, we're gonna change things around, but the second item on our agenda is number 1. And that is 37 Madison Street, an area variance. Chris Anderson seeks variances to extend the driveway toward the north property line, increase parking capacity from 2 to 3 vehicles. We had to make here on our computer, that's anything else you need to talk about with it, and Roy has documents and everything like that as well.
No, I think I'm all set with it. I mean, it's be improvement to the property that's non-compliant right now. County recommended to resurface the remainder of the driveway, which I plan on doing that too, so.
Everybody's, if you, the county has reviewed and sent attached letters are attached from the county to this one, if I can find that exact one, that I can. So, bear with me a second. I don't know. We'll go over the county's recommendations,
We got that.
are,
Packet, it's not in this packet. The county stuff.
the county's
packet. Should be in this packet.
I have a copy with me.
your county letter? Yeah, they, we'll have it here, but, try to page 26 and right there on that file. And we don't. Yeah. So, we'll make it. We'll give you this really bad.
got this one for Kim.
Stop the vote. Need repairs, there, you know. And you've reviewed the letter and you're aware that county specifically, address several recommendations, three specific recommendations. that Considered in, and I'll go over those quickly that, benefit of the applicant. This group shall take into consideration the benefit of the applicant, and we do that with everybody, so that's not really, we're going into any further. The city determined, existing use, two-family residence qualifies as a legal non-conforming use established prior to the adoption of current zoning regulations. So you have had it for a long time, and
No, I bought it, about a year and a half.
year and a half, ago. Prior owner had it for
Quite a while.
quite a while. Okay, that's something we haven't even, seen quite a bit. And number three, the applicant considered carrying the existing driveway in addition to the proposed expansion. And then lastly, the city determined whether the proposed expansion is manifestly arranged or designed for such use. I think that's kind of self, that explains itself for us. The main question to determine is conformity of this residence. So. I think we've got everything we need here from you. We're gonna discuss with Roy and amongst ourselves here, some of the documents, and then we'll call you back if we need you.
Okay, great.
Thanks for this, and I'll make sure you get it. What do you have to say, anything about that, Roy, at all, or?
I mean, this happens quite a bit, it's a pre-existing non-conforming.
Yep.
Use,
Yeah,
so, I mean, I don't see it as a huge expansion.
yeah,
I do see it as a way to prevent parking on the lawn, and also to prevent, in lieu of it being so he's creating more parking, he's actually making it more conforming, even though that there's a bunch of area variances.
Yep.
That are required to do this.
Yep.
I still think, I mean, it's been a two-family forever. And by adding one parking spot to prevent from, not only prevent people from parking on the lawn, blocking the sidewalk, and from stacking.
Yep, yep.
So I think based on all that, one vehicle,
Mhm.
I think it, and the fact that he's fixing the other driveway too, which is
Right.
kind of a mess.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's better for the neighborhood in the long run.
That's on there, so. Yeah. Yeah, I think people naturally gravitate to parking on lawns. The designated parking area is not, as well fixed on as it should be, so I think that's something that could be avoided by fixing that up.
And most of the non-conformities that are pre-existing non-conformities,
Yeah.
it's not, the non-conformities, I mean, there's a couple there that are being created by the work.
Yeah.
But the majority of them are all pre-existing non-conformities that we just fixed because we can't.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, all right. Anybody else on board here have any questions about what you're looking at? No, I think it looks good, pretty straightforward. Go through the questions. Yeah.
Build it somewhere.
All right. All right. I'm gonna make a motion to close the public hearing portion and then look for a second. A second. Second's been made, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. The following tests will be considered by the zoning board of appeals to determine whether the variance granting. To determine the variance waived, the granting or denial of the area variance. Number one, whether an undesirable change will be produced in the character of the neighborhood. Or a detriment to nearby properties will be created by the granting of the area variance. Looking at the aerials and photos, knowing the area, I think I would have to go with no on that. Whether the benefits sought by the applicant can be achieved by some method feasible for the applicant to pursue other than an area variance. Given his acquisition history and prior ownership of non-conformities, this is his best method to try to bring at least a lot of that property into compliance. So, I would say no to that one. And, whether requested area variance is substantial, here in Roy.
So if you look at it, I mean, in this case, given the lot size, I mean, you guys can do it if you want to.
No,
I want you to look at it, based on the use and the number of variances he's gonna need to pull this off.
yeah,
I don't define
yeah,
substantial, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So just think about.
yeah, well, you know, especially if there's specific requirements that, you know, that I'm thinking that I'm gonna incorporate into any, you know, we've got four pretty well identified, two of which I think are definitely have to be almost word for word, so, we're require some of these things put into a grant of a
I
variance.
just want you to look at the list before you make that decision whether or not.
No, I think you've got a lot going on there, so, good. I'm gonna say yes on that one. I think based on some of the things that are being proposed, some multiple, you can see plural, it's usually means there's gonna be something else to do. Whether the proposed variance will have an adverse effect or impact on the physical environmental conditions in the neighborhood district, again, I think no on that. And, whether the still difficulty was self-created, which consideration shall be relevant to the decision of the board, but shall not necessarily preclude granting of the area variance. I think, yes, this is a self-created issue, notwithstanding the purchase of the property non-conformity, but it is, in order to approve it, oftentimes we think property owners face these situations, so. Oh, yes, so Andy, we have no, yes, no, yes. 5 questions. Yeah, I'm proposing to use some of this language, that I'm less concerned about number one, that recommendation. I don't know whether, do we do that every time anyways? We have one of our questions, one of our standard questions really addressed that first. Recommendation of the county staff. And the city determined whether the existing use of family residence qualifies as being conforming. I think that's something that we.
It's pre-existing
Pre-existing non-conforming. I think we can forget about, we don't really need to address that, and then it's going to stay that way.
So also keep in mind that use in
Yes,
that area
Yes.
is typical for that area. I mean, yes, it is an R1, but
yeah, but
really, if you look at, it's more of an R3 multi-use
Yeah.
residential area.
it's evolved to that, evolved, whatever you wanna call it, to that point. But I do wanna point out and require that in granting variances that we, want to require repairing the existing driveway and the proposed expansion. And we do that by a date that we specify, which we've been giving as much as the. And now we're into July, so I would say we just brought. Yeah. Just, I think that's something that makes you the new one. Yeah, paid everything. I think that's a good way to look at it. And just said, we just pointed out that given a standard period of time.
Times the curb cut,
Yeah. And a curb cut, yeah.
large impact.
Yeah. All right, and then, I don't. Manifestly range for design for such use, and driveway is a driveway, so, I'll propose that, we grant the variances. As identified in the application.
Time if I may.
Yeah, sure,
So want to make sure that side exit there,
yeah,
that would leave some entrance, that the vehicles don't park right up against it to prevent people from getting out in case of fire, so that they leave ample room there to.
Yeah.
For the egress of people.
yeah, so that's, there's two entrances there, there are one end, and that, all right, I'll specifically add that, I would go back and. Maybe move that the, application for variances, are granted on 37 Madison. Subject to, the applicant being required to repair the existing driveway. At the same time that the expansion is approved, and that all access points be, free from any parking any vehicles to block any traffic from coming in and out of that area. I think that's sufficient. So, motion's been made. Second. Second, by Jake, and then all in favor, by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries.
All right, just to be clear on so. Subject to the applicant repairing existing driveways, they say repair.
Repairing existing driveway in addition to the proposed expansion. And then let me add, getting to, September 30 of 2026. That's two work seasons.
I think he was gonna put it.
And how you wanna word the part about the not blocking the access?
Applicant shall take,
Should leave a minimum of 36 inches.
Yeah.
From the front of the vehicle to the egress.
okay, that's specific, that's more specific than I would have got, but I think that's good. And he can handle that. 36 inches from,
At a minimum.
at a minimum of 36 inches.
And you just need a clear path from the door to the public way.
And allow, just pedestrian access, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just allow pedestrian access, to the structure and, parking areas. Oh, yeah. Among the existing driveway, in addition to proposed expansion, add in there, little clause, common clause, about, providing, adequate curb cut. So we're not hopping on curbs.
Okay.
All right. And the vote. Notice, I think we're good to go.
Chris, you stop in sometime tomorrow on this things. If they work for them.
Okay, thank you.
Well, the watch and rest.
What would we have to read? Main Street, see here,
Yeah, so let's go to 28 Main, Chris Merkley.
next one. Good here. All right, next agenda item, we're moving to agenda item number 3, which is now agenda item number 2, and that's 28 Main Street, an area variance. Chris Merkley seeks a variance to install facade sign exceeding the allowable square footage for a new business called Sundown Downtown Clubhouse. You have anybody to speak on that or at
Yeah,
all?
Chris is here.
Yeah, you can come up and tell us anything you need to at all, or?
So originally we went through the historical and architectural review committee last year and the planning review for the facade received approval with tentative plans for the signage. Once we finalized our logo earlier this year, we went back in front of the architectural and historical review committee at the most recent meeting, received unanimous approval. The signage is designed very much inspired by the previous signage in the building from Mullen's Office Outfitters. It's actually slightly smaller than the footprint that the Mullen sign took up, but it's essentially the same headline of Sundog where the Mullen sign was, and then Office Outfitters was in smaller font below that, and that's where you have the lettering for Downtown Clubhouse.
Okay,
Um,
all right.
Primarily, I'm happy to answer.
It's not in the window, that's.
No, there's no windows on the upper second story of the building,
Yeah,
and there wasn't previously. We basically just upgraded the previous design of the Mullins building, just trying to stay in the spirit of that.
So there's no windows in the front.
Just on the first floor. There never were on the second floor.
yeah, it was, stucco or something.
On the Orchard Street side, there are windows on the second floor. There was never any windows on
Okay,
there.
so it's just, my mind went to really somewhere else with the,
Okay.
which escaped the restroom. So, for the apartment upstairs.
Yes, there
We're
are.
not way here, so don't pay attention.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, good. I don't know if everybody's looked at it, this is something that was part of. Many different building, fittings and what have you that went down, downtown. I was a little surprised that it was considered historic. It didn't look like it was, I thought Mullins,
But it's
Yeah.
within the
it's in the
historical,
historic district, so
so everything's historic.
everything's historic. because
Well,
of
in a
its-
sense, it's
Yeah, okay,
for the historic
yeah,
district design
yeah,
guidelines are
yeah,
applicable,
even if they.
so even if the building's not historic.
So. Yeah. All right. Good, thanks for your info.
Sure.
And what you provided, and go from there.
So as I stated earlier, it's a pretty simple thing. A total square footage of the sign exceeds the linear square footage in front of the building.
Yeah.
And that's what. The wall sign portion and essential business says the total square foot. The sign cannot exceed the linear square foot,
Okay.
and which it does, so that's why it's requested.
Okay. It's, from what I read of it, it doesn't seem like it's. Substantial. Issue,
We do a lot of these downtown.
yeah, and I think that as you change from, what was it, a stationary or office supply
Well-
outfit, and then now something kind of different, it's gonna, naturally, you're gonna find those.
Truthfully, it's more important that it got the historical committee lesson.
I agree, yeah, and I think maybe they looked at, not to pick on the building, or anything, they look at the same thing that I was thinking, that that its facade is less concerning, so. Than it would be, say, for the community restaurant building or something that has more architectural significance, plus, we've got bar, all different architecture styles down there. Does anybody else have any questions on the board before I close the public hearing? Hearing none, we're gonna look for a motion to close the public hearing. Motion been made by Jake, I'll second, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Public hearing is closed, we will, if there are questions. The following test be considered by the zoning board of appeals to determine whether variance. Granting the weighing the granting or denial of the area variance request. Number one, whether an undesirable change will be produced in the character of the neighborhood or a detriment to nearby properties will be created by the granting of the area variance. I think that's historical commission gives it the go, but whether the benefits sought by the applicant. Can be achieved by some time feasible for the applicant to pursue other than an area variance, and no. I think that was it's straightforward, whether the requested area variance is substantial, I think I don't really know on that one. Well, I'll just shoot them off here because it seems like we're all in agreement, whether the proposed variance will have an adverse effect or impact on the physical environmental conditions in the neighborhood or district. GB, no, I really don't think so. I think we're gonna see pretty tasteful designs in some of our buildings down there. Whether the alleged difficulty was self-created, which consideration shall be relevant to the decision of the board, that shall not necessarily include the granting of the area variance. And again, I think that's a yes. So, I'll entertain a motion.
So just yes on the final.
Yes, is the thing, on number 5 and 4, those prior, so I entertain a motion on granting area variance, as described in the application. So, and we have a second, and, from Jake, and, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Aye, that motion is granted. And, good, all right. So you'll get with Andy on.
Yeah, Chris, I can give this to you right now.
Who's the man? Well, you don't say, they're not holding a concert this. They have, I mean, this, she said, it's pretty tough. Next on the agenda,
Saying there, just say it's approved, there's no additions or.
four, nice. Wow. Moving to number four.
I'll take that. Thank you for that.
But I think we just have to.
No, it was 33, so congratulations. Yes, sir.
Thanks. Yep, thanks for coming in. Andy, are we down now to,
Let's go to 8. yeah.
South Ave?
Okay.
Agenda item, number 3, it's, 8.5 South Ave, variance, amenities, experiences for the purpose of subdividing property into 2 lots at 8 and 8.5, down to 10.5 South Ave. You had come here, I wanna say you were here 2 years ago, maybe?
Approximately 3 years ago.
And what? Did we table it or?
No, not for this, it was for another,
A
it was for
different one?
34, it was for a big
Oh.
project down the street.
Those
It
are
is
so.
Okay, that was their property, all right, I just thought, I saw South Ave, it was on South Ave, it was gonna be worse. Yeah, all right. Sorry about that, I, for some reason, I couldn't find it in any of my documents, and it's not the first time that it was so good. So, tell us what you need,
Oh, looking for a line division of a 3-building, 1 lot, 1 parcel property. Trying to sell the property to the same gentleman who bought the other properties on South Avenue. His lender, they're not gonna do commercial, so he wants to separate the rooming house from the other 2 buildings. And he'll get a loan for that, and then he'll pay out of his pocket for the commercial part of it.
same buyer for both.
Same buyer.
For the that's subdivided, because it's not your lot.
That's correct.
That's required, subdivided.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
The problem is there's some variances that have to be looked at.
Okay. All right. Good.
So is my turn?
Yeah, yes.
This is, so. What you're essentially doing right now, anything you do has to be contingent on what the planning commission does, because. The planning commission has to split the lots before you guys grant the variance,
Yeah.
so whatever you do is contingent on the planning commission. Decision.
Mhm.
Whatever decision you make, I want to tell you. Miss Bennett's fault, but the new owner has not done anything with that other property that was supposed to be.
Yeah, okay.
I just wanted to check, cause he only bought it on June 6th. The guy's some
Okay.
time.
Okay. All right. All right, go ahead, continue, right. That's good to know that. because
So
I-
you did the subdivision.
Yeah.
Of 34, that thing over there, the
Yeah.
very large subdivision, and he just purchased the property on June 6th when we did
It took 2 years to the day for that deal to go.
So why didn't you do the work?
What?
Why didn't you do the work that was required? Cause it.
Because he said he was gonna do the work.
Okay. All right,
So, okay, again, up to you.
no.
It is, anyway, so that work on the other property was not completed in the time frame that you gave.
And we specifically, so does that
But
mean,
it was under, but again, if you look back on what you ordered, it was that the new owner do the work.
yeah,
So
yeah,
maybe, whatever, so different property, different property. So the,
Gave him all the paperwork that you gave me. I informed him, that's what's expected.
yeah, sometimes, the best thing.
so this will go down to planning commission.
Okay.
We'll deal with it then.
Uh,
The county planning did note the non-conformity of the rooming house,
yeah,
because it is an R2.
Okay.
So you're talking a little different situation than we were for 37 Madison,
yeah,
alright?
right,
They wanted you to look at that situation
okay,
and the parking and what the subdivision will do to the lack of parking, so that line might need to be changed.
yeah, and will that be?
That was one of the big things they were
Yeah.
concerned about, because he needs, if you look at the parking requirements for rooming house, you're supposed to have one parking space per room. I think it's 11, right?
Yeah, no,
I'd like to point out, in the 15 years that we had the Lumen House, it's not the type of rental that people rent that can also afford a car, is what I'm saying.
yeah,
I can't remember, there might have been some, but I can't remember any tenants having their own car.
right.
So,
Yeah. Well, that's all, we hear that actually, fair enough, we're right, and it's kind of a unique thing about Cortland.
plus, like I said, the same gentleman's gonna own the 2 properties on the left. And he's gonna, he already owns the 3 properties on the right, one of them, which is pretty much a lot, an empty lot.
Okay.
That has plenty of parking spaces, if he needs to use that.
Yeah, that makes me a little more understanding or concerned about what Roy had pointed out, that he hasn't done any work. He owns that not only the property acquired from you, but others.
It's been 6 weeks.
Yeah.
I guess it just purchased, but so the other thing I will point out also is the county not only said that about the parking stuff. In the same breath, they said the city needs more properties like this that cater to a certain clientele.
Yep.
That need, that.
Yeah.
What they call it, transitional housing,
Yeah, yeah,
so
Transient,
it
transient.
was transitional,
yeah.
it wasn't, it was, that,
Yeah,
so. You have 11 rooms of transitional housing
yeah, a little
that the
bit.
city drastically needs
Yep.
more of.
Yep, yep.
So they were concerned about it being non-conforming, but they're also concerned about it not being there anymore.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just keep that.
Not even available. Good. Yeah, I'm thinking if we extended the period of time, again, allowing for this applicant and then some other owners subject to that ruling. If we again extended the time for construction to be carried on other.
I should be penalized because what the other.
No, I agree, but I think if he's only legally acquired it as of June 1. It wasn't.
Has anybody approached him and said,
Yeah.
this is required?
Well, I think, again, the planning commission has, more of an oversight since it's a subdivision. But I think that, it's something that I have to believe was communicated back when we had, your original, your previous application here. And I would say to you, and others who do this, that one of the best ways to do that is to put this in some of the sale documents. That way, when you have an agreement of sale, I mean, I don't think you put it in.
If I ever get back into the landlord business, I'll remember that.
Remember that.
Trying to retire,
No,
it took me 2 years to find a buyer,
Yeah.
and I couldn't find anybody local.
No, it's hard to get into a business like that.
And, it's gonna be at least another 4 months to finish this deal if
Yeah.
everything goes
Yeah,
smooth.
right, yeah. Okay. All right. All right.
I also do believe that one more person wants to speak.
Yes, certainly. All right. If that's all you have, then we'll get another person to speak on the issue.
I'm not here to like stop this or anything, whatever happens, happens. I live at 10 South Ave and I recently took the property over from my parents. And, I know that when he subdivides it, it's gonna have to have property lines drawn again. Well, between 8.5 and 10, which is my house, there's a driveway, which is a shared driveway. I mean, granted, I don't use it because I have my own driveway, but it is a shared driveway between my property and that property.
Okay,
So I just wanna make sure when all of this happens, that somebody's not gonna try to
no, that has to be,
cut through. I mean, I don't use the driveway and I'm nice enough, I let the neighbors use it, whatever, but I just don't wanna be cut out when it's part of my property.
yeah,
I pay taxes on it, so I prefer not to,
Never aware of that, I've looked at the property line.
I have- yes,
I don't know.
I actually have I found it, because I keep everything, but I actually have where it says that it's a shared.
that's something from the county.
Where is the last one? Cause it used to be Berardi properties, but when my parents bought it, that's what they called the next door.
So it shares a driveway with,
So yeah, my house has a driveway, but then there's a driveway between my driveway and 8.5.
Oh, this
And-
is so between 10 and 8.5.
Well, 10.5 is out back, so that's how they get to 10.5 is using that driveway.
This is right on, this is right in your deed, so
Correct.
there's no way any future owner has to be, the subject, that's.
Right. That's what I just wanted to come here to make sure that I wasn't, I subdivided, whatever you want, I don't really. It doesn't matter to me. I just want to make sure that people are aware, whoever's buying it is aware that a driveway is shared and like, and sometimes not nice and all that pushed out.
Priority is now your, is dispute. That's-
Yes, I took over in November from my parents, so I am Heather and my husband is Arnold. And Jimmy and Debbie were my parents, or Arnold.
Okay, and were they priorities and you are?
No, actually. The subdivision that's rooms now used to be a bar, and my parents used to know the gentleman that owned the bar.
Okay.
On the bar?
Tommy Berardi,
Oh, I thought you said.
no, not my parents, they should have, but
Because in any case, like this, well, this is a driveway easement, and what you have is you have the owner of the land is encumbered by allowing access. So I have actually access over my neighbor's land to buy that, building on my property. The easement is in my favor, encumbers my neighbor.
Mhm.
This is a similar situation like that. So, you would have every right, but again, this is the, how you enjoy having properties, but it's all
Right.
burden. It's the burden of this. So even if he sells the property, the owner of the property, the purchaser of this property that enjoys this easement has to be aware of this language, because this is recorded 25 years ago.
yeah,
And so. Yeah. April 11, 2000.
yeah, that's what I heard.
So, that's on the record for, until such time as somebody acquires it from you.
Right,
From,
yeah,
from you.
no, I understand, I just wanted to make sure that the subdivision, whatever, clean up south end, great. But I just wanted to make it aware that, that
Yeah,
is part
and
of the,
I would, just to be, I'm not gonna give advice because I don't like this, but I would make a point of finding out with maybe approaching or sending something to the acquiring interest, the owner, the guy who's gonna buy the property,
Mhm.
and say, by the way, in my deed, it's granted that you have a right of way to use, but it's not, it doesn't grant you, to block it or to permit, other uses of the property. That's how you should.
and I've never had any trouble, but like when I got this, I'm like, okay, I need to go address this just to make sure that it's there, that people know that.
No,
I can't conceive of a reason why you wanna do that, this is a house in the back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's the only way they can
Yeah.
basically get to the house in the
I
back.
just think that, again, I'm just a guy on the street telling you what you should do, because you have this easement, you should make sure that any documents that convey property to the new owner. Reference, even if they just say, there's a reference, by reference, there's an easement granted. In a deed, April 2000, that's all it has to say.
Okay.
And if it does that, then any subsequent owner. Has to abide by that, just like I have, when I sell my property. The neighbor sells his property, he can't all of a sudden park cars on it, because I can't get in and out of it, no, I don't own the land.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have that right to use it, so, that's good, I mean, it's good that you're bringing it up and you're on the record here, at least, so if it ever came down, they can say, hey, I came to the Portland, zoning hearing board and presented this, and they said I had a valid, but by and large, it's not anything, I don't think that your point, we really have. There's an argument on that.
there you go. Thank you. I hope he does get it sold and I hope that they do close it.
Sir,
Yeah, do you ever stop down by the property?
yeah.
Just If you see a white car or a gray truck across the road, not standing door, so I'll get a copy for you. Okay.
I don't think that anyone shoes anyway. So,
I have to make it at work, so I'll make it tomorrow, and I'll have it at that time.
and move to close the public hearing for 8.5 South Avenue. Look for a second. Second been made, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Alrighty, Roy, are these? Isn't it typical for these sub-plan that, once you get drawings?
So the lots to allow, so this is a weird situation, right? Because the lots have to allow. The lots, it's like number 1 or 2 in this, in the minor subdivision, the lots have to be ready to. Or they can't allow. However, you guys can't do an area variance on 2 lots unless the 2 lots exist, so it's kind of a weird thing.
Okay, yeah, I think I would require us to even vote on something to have a layout proposed, like we're spending money here, it has to include something like that, have a professional engineer draw something.
That's fine with me.
That's how.
Outline where the potential parking would be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because and I could say that even.
That the new owner can see exactly what you guys want.
Yeah, and see where this driveway easement exists.
Absolutely.
We have an issue, because had she not brought that up, I don't know if I would have seen it, that's really concerning, but. The county, I'm sure would pick up on that, but.
Yep.
Good, alright. Yeah, so I'm kind of on the single table end too, you know. Yeah, with IH, I think that's the way to provide that professional draw. Good.
I'm gonna tell him that.
Yeah, well, that's where. Yeah,
So another.
we've run into this an awful lot, you can come out back up anyway. We encounter this a fair amount where we, have to, because we have another commission that's gonna look at it.
Right.
Planning commission does nothing but have large roles, of designs and everything, especially on subdivision. And that would be something, subdivision, particularly what she just brought up, which is something that any kind of deed search or whatever would show, would produce that.
But
But,
show it on the survey map,
well, it should,
it should.
because it doesn't necessarily have to be exactly where, it doesn't have to be surveyed exactly pins or whatever. But the access does have to be noted because she had, you know, her, it's a burden on her property, but nonetheless. It has to be addressed, it can't be something that automatically inures, is the word I'm thinking of, to a subdivided property.
So I assume that 10.5 used to be part of the lot of
Like,
10 or something.
Yeah, it very likely was, in many cases, those halves that were done and not allowed to subdivide, but then later on they did. So, so what we're gonna rule on is, we're going to kind of indefinitely table, which gives you kind of an extended period of time to use the buyer or a period of time to produce some kind of design for us about what he intends to do. And when we look at it, that would be from like a professional engineer or whatever, engineering design, survey or sketch plan. Even if it's a sketch plan, that's something, we've had those coming before, preliminary sketch. And if we don't require it, I can guarantee you the planning commission will.
So maybe you can have a meeting. Maybe Andy can set up a meeting with the planning commission and you guys.
Yeah.
A sketch plan meeting.
Yeah.
To run over exactly what you guys want, so he's
Yeah.
not chasing down, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that,
Have a sketch plan meeting.
even if just one of us comes to it, it's something.
Yeah, so a sketch plan conference has to consist at a minimum of, the chair and zoning.
Zoning.
Officer and any one in addition
Yeah.
is welcome, but.
Yeah, the applicant or somebody, really the applicant, yeah. I can do that, so.
So what they're gonna want is a 10,000 foot view of both the new properties. Professionally drawn out, and especially with 8, they're gonna wanna see where your thoughts are for the potential park. Alright, then that doesn't, I see your point, it doesn't necessarily have to be 11. We can get around that with variances, one of the variances already are, I mean, the minimum parking variance, we can get around that. But we're gonna need a better they're gonna need a better picture of what the plans are to provide that than me drawing a line or.
And one of the ways that I've seen this happen too is if, in leases, did you say in the lease that we're leasing in this room, but we're not leasing it with a, you know, it doesn't include a parking spot, that's something that certainly suffice for getting around having required lease. We've seen that happen here.
So if he wants to create a lease of a tenant and lease a parking space on 4 South Avenue, he can do that.
On 4, yes, because you can have ancillary parking in a residential neighborhood as long as it's the same owner. And it's abutting property.
Yeah. So when can I get something, you know, written up that I can show this gentleman what's required?
We'll have, our minutes are produced within a couple of weeks. I do have someone.
But you have a plan in a week, right?
Well, we'll be producing, you know, documents for the planning commission, exactly. Do you have someone in mind that you would go to get your drawings?
Say again?
Do you have someone in mind that you would go to get the drawings, or you just think?
Wait, nah, I'm not gonna pay for
Okay,
it.
so yeah, I mean, for
He
the
wants
most
to
part,
buy it.
any professional
I
drawing,
have no idea.
any professional that do a drawing, already. No, you just go to them, hey, I wanna subdivide this, I can get approval from the ZBA, they're gonna know what to draw, what to produce, so it's pretty much like just a conversation with whoever's drawing.
And in this case, it doesn't have to be an engineer, it can be an architect, it can be a
That's why it's professional.
surveyor,
It's just professional.
anybody with access to. Yeah,
I mean, though, I think, my assumption is the planning commission is going to know some details on the financing issue with them requiring, almost never heard of that, requiring, a subdivision in order to buy both properties.
Yeah.
it's the second time it's happened with the same guy, and it happened with the one down the road too. So
Oh, the other one, yeah.
This lender is a lending
Okay.
corporation out of Florida.
Okay, so maybe it's just real estate, it's just the investment.
That's why.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and that's something that would be certainly need to be fleshed out with planning people.
But you're saying that I will have something specific outlines
Yeah.
to discuss with this gentleman.
Yeah, and again, what we have to determine something, determine our role, in that, we just have to make sure that it meets zoning. And if there are variances, there are things that we can then look at, some of the variances are pretty, like, I think you've heard us read these before.
Yeah.
They're not they're not what we call significant.
Right.
Or substantial, I think is the word that I'm using often. So in that regard, those are kinds of things that we can look at as a group and say that, and make exceptions to if we see it in the bigger picture.
So basically, you're saying this is all contingent on these plans being drawn up.
Yeah, because I think the other part of the city's organization here, the planning commission, can't have to, in order to grant subdivisions amongst us all, that's something that has to be seen.
And they're gonna look at this next week.
Yeah. That one it is next,
Ah,
are they on the agenda for next week?
Yeah,
Are they on
I can
that?
stay on the agenda for next week, but it'll be, their decision will be contingent on the next time you guys meet.
Yeah.
So
but they're gonna look at it anyway.
they're gonna have to look at it anyway, so it might have to be tabled till next month. That's up to you guys, I'm just,
No,
but then again, that's up to them too, I'm just,
Yeah.
so Mike. So here's, and I think you're already explained it to him, it's a pretty big deal. I mean, you're just it's, I mean, it seems like, I mean, I know it seems like it's all on paper. But in terms of variances, subdivisions, I mean, you've got one that's a non-conforming use. However, you got 2 that are non-conforming uses, actually, both of the properties are non-conforming uses, one being the rooming house in an R2. The other one being a 2-family and a 1-family on one lot, which is also a non-conforming use. In fact, it's restricted.
What else can you do with those? Okay.
Like, again, but the county did recognize that the type of housing, the transient housing is
Yeah.
much needed,
Yeah.
so I don't think we wanna, get rid of it or don't allow this to
No,
move forward. But I think we really need to
Yeah.
watch moving forward how we fix this.
And we want to avoid a future issue with the financier too. I mean, thinking, I can see it's smart for them to say to subdivide it, even though they're requiring both. Because if one of them becomes something that is not allowed, then they haven't lost the investment that they made in the both of them. For whatever reason, or if one of the new acquired properties somehow, becomes a nuisance. Yeah, then you got an issue in it. The owner can keep tenants in there or something like that. I can see that being something that they want to avoid. So, it's complicated, but, the first thing that has to be done is everybody who sits on any of these boards, whether it's zoning, planning, has to be looking at the same sketch, even if that's as basic as it is. Just something that sketches down exactly what's going to happen.
So are any of you guys available
I'm available.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday?
Of this week, yeah. Yeah,
Why don't you,
Friday till, I know on Friday, I'm here all day, so yeah.
why don't you, I'm not here tomorrow. Come in Wednesday, sit down, talk to me. I'll run you through a list of what these guys want.
Okay.
And then hopefully you can get it drawn up. I mean, again, anybody with a cat doesn't need to be stamped.
Doesn't what?
Anybody with a CAD does not gotta be stamped, but you're gonna want. I mean, so we have an overview of the whole property, right? What they need, what the planning commission is gonna need is specifically what the two new subdivided properties are gonna look like and the measurements.
Yeah.
Along with the parking and so on and so forth, okay?
Okay,
Yes, let me know, because I can shoot right down here, want to meet down at your office.
No,
or something.
So coming Wednesday, I'll give you a list of what they're gonna need, unless you got it right now, in which case you can come in on. Or not, you understand what I'm talking about?
I don't.
Okay, to come in tomorrow and I'll sit you down, and walk through. Not tomorrow, Wednesday.
All right,
So the goal is to get this passed,
Right.
but it has to be done right because it is such a big. There's a lot of moving parts. Okay, right, I'm not speaking for you guys, I'm
Very much so, no, and we can't also, because we have to involve the planning commission. That's not a corporate thing, that's a state thing, that's New York State saying that we have to go through all this. So it's something that we see, even though as Roy mentioned, it's something we actually want to see these kinds of living. On a regulated basis, but for this purpose, we have to go through, we have to look at the system and look at all the other departments.
all right, what time is good around?
on Wednesday. Here all day, just
All right,
pop in, if I'm not here, Kate will call me, I'll be right back,
okay,
okay?
will do.
Again, understand, I wanna get through this, but a lot of moving parts, we gotta work through, okay?
I hear you.
Okay.
All right. Good
All
evening.
right, thanks for coming in. With that.
So, Tom, just for purpose of the minutes, so we're gonna table it, the requested site plans for the proposed development be submitted for a sketch plan conference.
That's a good way to put it, yeah.
Prior to further action.
Further action. There we go, thanks. All in favor, second, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Table.
Table. Right, next up. Elm,
Let's go down.
26 and 28 Elm Street, Paul Stewart seeks variances for construction of a new 25 of 12 parking area. One vehicle, English sign, street sign, on the corner lot.
believe the last meeting you guys denied it or tabled it, because you didn't like the parking arrangement of the two vehicles on that side.
Yes, yes.
He's now limited it to one vehicle, and it's coming back for approval.
Okay, I think that's a better look. I'll pass these around, to you guys. I don't know, you might not have been here, I was, we were looking, specifically, he was looking to actually extend this front to the south and all of it, so.
So he's gonna need the same area variances, just one.
Yeah. But it's just according to a sketch like that, and honestly, that's as good as a sketch is, it's really, it's well done in terms of what we're looking at, so, yeah, good. Front of the house, the green, Elm Street side. Like it goes no further than that. This is fine. Are you gonna just then move that fence back, the one that's existing?
No, you wanted it kept there.
Kept there, so, but the paving is gonna only go to that, point, or the surface.
It's gonna be off the road, yeah, it's not gonna be right against the side.
Okay,
I mean, off the sidewalk, it's not gonna be right against the
all
side.
right. All right.
I think it's gonna be enlarged as the curb cut, I think that's the other thing you guys want, make the curb cut a little bigger.
Yep, in order to make, two entrances, because looks like,
No, not two entrances.
oh, that's, yeah, two
Just
car
make it-
widths.
Well, yeah, but it's only gonna be one car now, so you just, but you still wanna make it big enough, so you got one car pulling in still,
Yeah.
yes?
Yep.
And then one car pulling off, so there's still two cars parked there. But they're gonna be able to pull out without moving each other, so they won't be, they won't be stacked and they won't, I guess your other concern was. Is that one could back out in the other one,
Yeah,
and it won't happen this time, cause the one that's parked,
okay.
the one that's parked east-west, or west-east, if you will. Will be pulled up more so that this car can come up.
Yep, so you have 1, 2, 3. That's the back, that's the capacity. Right.
Two,
Two.
because you guys were concerned about the three, so we
Yeah,
knocked it down.
yeah. Okay,
It's
so that's,
limited to stacking.
I'll stay. Okay, that's one.
Because,
I see, yeah, now that I see this one.
and that's why I wanted to, my second part, I want two parts on. One there alongside the house. Let me just show
Yeah.
you real quick, if you don't mind. When I get done with this. There'll be a fence, I removed the fence. There was a fence going all the way around.
Yeah.
Remove that, when this is done. There'll be a fence my fence will come back along.
Oh, there will be another fence
Yeah,
there, okay, all right.
So, yeah, and then this, the green space on Elm Street stays the
Yeah,
same.
yeah.
And then over here. The city just put in a nice big driveway with.
Yeah, I see that.
So. You'll be pulling in here. And then this is what I was talking about earlier, where this Jeep is.
Yeah.
Is, I'm gonna blacktop that whole thing.
That's not, okay.
There's a little blacktop here, a little blacktop there.
Yep.
Two parts, this is for me.
Yep.
And the guy out back. I don't know whether. He's gonna stack, they only have one vehicle.
Right. Okay, and that was the access off of Elm, right?
This is off.
Oh, I'm sorry, Greenbush, I'm thinking, I got mixed up, sorry. And gotcha.
But you'll have the fence up to prevent people. from
Yes,
driving straight out.
Exactly.
So you'll leave that existing fence that's there, and then you'll add another stretch fence.
Like, yeah, I'm not changing, there's a black wrought iron fence
Yeah,
that goes
that's up
around
here.
here, yeah,
Yeah,
that's that fence there.
that's gonna stay there.
I'm just gonna put it back in.
Okay. Oh, you're gonna move that back from where?
Well, I
it is?
removed, this was all green space here.
Yep.
Where the truck is right now, it still is green space.
Okay.
There was a fence that went all the way down to here.
Yes,
I removed that. And then once this is all blacktop, I'm gonna put the fence back in.
Okay.
So it'll be like that.
okay, all right. Okay. Does anybody have any other questions for Mr. Stewart at all? How far extension?
Twelve by 25.
Far was the curb cut intended to be, or is that?
That's a pretty adequate curve that the city put in, because it is two different buildings that share this.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Did they just do them?
They did that.
They didn't.
8 months ago.
Okay, so is that, you came and paid the meeting, I wanna say? Well, you're talking about
This last month.
Have the driveway be able to pull in that water?
Please.
It's bigger, we look like that.
It's pretty wide.
No, they need to add on to that. I mean, yeah, that's up to you guys, but.
Yeah, it just is asking. Pardon, pulling the leaves grass.
Yeah, you can.
Bounce. Okay.
So it won't be as stressful.
So you can right
They
here,
need to extend a curb cut.
if there's no grass, here, this is driveway, that's. Your property, some kind of.
So does it?
This income, who's paving your driveway?
Me?
You're paving it yourself,
No,
who'd
no.
you hire?
Oh, I see. So the contractor, you gotta get a contractor to do it, so.
You may do this, you cut that up, yes, I mean, if it's first choice did my curb cut, and he cut out the curb.
Not just, take it over.
Well, that's actually gotta be concrete.
And how far? Feet of.
That's what these days.
Yeah, say maybe another square of the. What is there any, like, considerations for a driveway to require? Lines on that?
So, I mean, I would put. I mean. You gotta put at least. I would say. I think.
Maybe flush from the house.
I mean, I don't think it's gonna be that much bigger, because the other car's gonna pull it up and you're gonna pull it out, but I still think you need to add to that, so that they can come. And by the way, here's a picture of that fence,
Yeah.
which will come out now while they're paving that, but it's gonna go back in, it's gonna be around the front too, so that they cannot.
Yeah.
They can't pull through or pull out this way,
Yeah.
they're gonna have to back out. And I would recommend that you have your tenants back into that space.
Oh.
And then just tell them to back in, because it'll be a lot easier, but I mean, that way they're not backing into people walking on the sidewalk or the other vehicle.
Yeah, gotcha. Because on the other side of the house,
On the Elm Street side.
that picture. The other side of the house. Over here, see this driveway? I paved that years ago. So people pull in and back out there. That's all.
Oh, I'm still, I mean, that's, so. Yeah, I see, I. See your point. Should still not.
Yeah, this,
This is gonna have two proposed vehicles.
you have them going at two different angles, so they just need anything that can be more.
So you suggest that people back
Yeah.
into.
That would be.
I was just back in the both of them.
Yeah.
That's, yeah. I think a lot, I think they kind of do sometimes,
Yeah.
not all the time. All right.
Because it's still, I mean, it's proven fact that most accidents happen when you're backing up your vehicle.
That makes sense. I just want to get parking for 200.
Yeah.
You know, I think, well.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely correct. I agree. I agree.
Yeah, we got one side.
Yeah, I'll say thanks for.
This is actually the one, they actually pulled the truck there. It's pretty
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Sure, they're the same name.
Yeah, features the time.
Pardon?
Changing. Alright. Alright. Anybody else have any questions for Mr. Stewart? We have one more photo here.
Oh, you got one more?
Yeah.
Is he still okay? You want these back? I mean, I don't know if you guys can have it.
So we were gonna have. Curb cut is something that you're agreeing to do and we have that.
I know the contract.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, good.
Right.
I don't know, so,
It's, Again, I mentioned this the last time, this house was built when there was no cars.
Yeah, no, that's what we
You gotta be creative.
find that out, it's on the carrier buildings too, talking about that earlier, was there something that everybody used to tear down, now they're finding out that they can actually have, they're actually pretty well built.
I mean, if I could add again, if you look at the other houses in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
And look at this particular house, I mean, it's immaculate, the exterior looks great, everything looks good, so.
It's a good corner, it's a good.
The gentleman really takes care of his property as well, so. I recommend you pass it, that's really my.
Oh, I think you got it. Good, anything else for Mr. Stewart? I'm gonna entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
All set.
Motion's been made, second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. 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 Okay. Motion passes. Questions? Okay, following test will be considered by the zoning board of appeals to determine whether the variance waiving the grant or denial of the area variance request. Number one, whether an undesirable change will be produced in the character of the neighborhood or a detriment to nearby properties will be created by the granting the area variance, I think, was consensus on that. Whether the benefit sought by the applicant be achieved by some method feasible for the applicant to pursue other than area variance. And I think, this is our doing things, and whether the requested area variance is substantial. I think when we spoke with Mr. Stewart at the last previous meeting, we thought that was substantial, and I think he's modifying what he wants to do to achieve basically the same results. So I would say no on that one. Whether the proposed variance will have an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environmental conditions within our district. No, I think we, as always pointed out, and I agree, it's a really well from King Corner, that location. Whether the alleged difficulty is self-created, which consideration shall be relevant to the decision of the board, but shall not necessarily include granting of the area variance. And there again, I think, yes, there are things that come up when you're in the business of having rental properties like that. So I'll move to add a motion to the requested variances with the condition of curb cut expanded 3 to 5 feet.
3 to 5, I'm sorry, so you said 3 to 5?
3 to 5, 1 3, not 1 5. And with a concrete apron back or adding.
So, expand the curb cut by 3 to 5 feet, and what about the?
Just has to be the concrete apron or concrete approach apron at the street sidewalk. Okay, cool. Motion been offered, there's second. Second been made by Jake. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. So let's go back up to 4. Let's go back up to Pendleton. I've been looking at this one, it's pretty standard. It's a above ground pool, I didn't see anything. County looked like they were pretty, not, pretty accepting of it, and Jesus, I guess we.
Page 19.
Yeah. Looked at that, I don't think that, they're asking if we feel full review, I don't, as long as they put that in there, I don't really think that needs to happen, and, that includes, so, going to, I think we've I think we still have to, even though we have nobody here, we're gonna move to close the public hearing on 7 Pendleton Street. And look for a second. Okay, second has been made, and all in favor, say aye. Public hearing is closed, I look, unless we have any other questions to go over, or Roy or anything. The following tests will be considered by the zoning board of appeals.
So the condition.
To determine whether the variance only granted or denial of the area variance request. Number one, whether it's a desirable change of produced character of the neighborhood or detriment to nearby property or created by the granting or area variance.
Make sure that way also too.
Whether the benefit sought by the applicant can be achieved by some method feasible for the applicant pursuit of the area variance. No.
Which one did are we?
We're on number one now, 7 Pendleton. And the variances, requested for the installation of a pool, side yard variances, and things like that. Am I right about that, Roy? It's just a side yard and, another.
Oh, see, there's a few actually.
Softball? Yeah.
There's a page, I've been,
Well, I see, yes, so variance is plural, so I guess I should have noticed that. I knew there was. I saw the one page.
so there's right here. You the right one?
7.
No, they're on.
Oh, this. Oh,
You already have, no?
yeah.
Oh, but you already cleared it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Oh, so.
I'm sorry. You guys are rolling here. 7 Pendleton, okay, I got it.
It's not gonna
Yes, there's one, it's for your setback,
set their front yard setback.
which is typical.
Yeah. No more questions? Yeah, that's what I'm at now, so. Okay, so. So that was the only variance, so now, okay, I can now go on to the. So. I'm proposing it. It's just. Late at night. Okay, so. Okay, I think I'm down, yeah, because I've already written no for the third time, so.
I'm gonna say.
Present area variance is substantial, I will reiterate no on that one.
Make it.
So number 4, whether the proposed variance will have an adverse effect or impact on the physical environmental conditions in the neighborhood districts and. Thing I noticed, I read or reading something about how they're being dangerous, and I guess that's something that's.
I think.
Totally, has to, oversee things.
Also.
Whether the alleged difficulty with self-treated, which consideration shall be available to decision of board that shall not necessarily preclude the granting of area variance unless. All down against the lines.
I agree.
I'm gonna move to, grant the area variance for 7 Pendleton. According to plans as submitted. Second's been made. All in favor, by the same.
Yes.
Aye. Motion carries, so.
Plans, you can pay it.
Agenda is 9.
That's when you bring up.
4 blocks and then conference. So area variance
Pedestrian safety.
156 to 62 Tompkins.
You gotta align it too. Yes. Basic lines, so that people know this is the way it works.
Oh.
That's something.
These were the bill. This, it's done with
There's gotta
there.
be 8 foot.
Right, we're on, are we doing 4 blocks in here?
We're doing, Tompkins, 156, 62 Tompkins. Seeing where I first food service. Yeah, so you have to tell us about what, this is another one.
We're on 162.
This
Was
is,
this 2 times?
we're on Tompkins Street, the Dunkin' Donuts.
This is, what is it? Well, yes, so. This is not a sign,
Oh,
they're doing a rebrand,
oh,
so. They have one sign, their whole sign is. Not fine, but it's pre-existing, so.
Yeah. yeah,
So. Was it, so, 323 max front yard. Parcel is 3 front yards.
yeah. Reason, because it's a corner. Right,
Interesting.
yeah.
So it has front yards on Water, on Tompkins and on Broadway.
Yeah, Broadway, Tompkins, yeah. And the back streets that you have,
Water,
Water Street, between Water.
so the max front yard is 30 feet, 31 foot on Water. There's 134 feet on Broadway. The max is 20 feet.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep.
The max building footprint is 5K, the building's 51K. The minimum parking is 20, that should say maximum, right? So. I mean, the maximum parking is 23, they have 51. 30, 84, A, 1, 2, 3, it's all about front yard parking, maximum parking in the front yard.
Yeah.
And then 395, it doesn't have a 10-foot buffer. Between. Doesn't have a 10-foot buffer between 4 Broadway and 7 Water Street.
Okay,
All of which are pre-existing non-conformance,
okay,
okay?
all right,
Because they are putting up, I stand corrected, yes, they're putting up the same drive-through. Structures that they had, this is the same.
Yeah.
Rebrand that they did over at Clinton, so.
yeah, now they just call it Dunkin' or something like that.
Yeah.
Is that what I'm saying? Okay, so all this is the same thing, let's see. Okay,
And they're all pre-existing non-conformities, it just need to be fixed, that should have been fixed the last time.
Yeah. all right. Is there concern that there is, I wanna say there's vegetated strip, there's grass between the sidewalk and the street, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's, yeah, that's,
And that is not enough, and so,
no, you're not talking about, so you're not talking about that.
yeah,
So between a commercially. Zoned property and a residential zone property, you need a 10-foot buffer strip.
yeah,
There's not a designated 10-foot buffer strip.
Yeah.
Between that property and. 4 Broadway and 7 Water Street.
right, okay, all right. Okay. All right. But that's been like that, since they had it as a little gas station and.
Truth, I don't know when that was when that was
Yeah,
redone I mean, I was actually here when it was redone the last time. I was
Yeah.
not the zoning officer at that time.
yeah,
Truthfully, I was surprised the stuff wasn't already fixed, but.
yeah.
So,
All right. So that is, the rebrand is nothing going to do change with the.
no, this is all pre-existing stuff.
Pre-existing stuff, okay. All right. And as was the one down on Clinton.
Yeah.
Same exact thing, okay, all right. I don't, you guys have any other questions for Roy or anything like that?
How did you receive these documents for the drawings? Did you get hard copies and you scan them?
I have both, I have electronic copies and hard copy.
Like, does these scan ones, like, nothing is legible as far as just being pixelated and not, so it's
Yeah.
maybe if we can get like a.
What do you, I'm confused, what do you, I mean, basically.
So all these drawings that provided for like what's going on here, but you just can't read anything, because presuming it's all like pixelated. Yes, so it's just, if it was like a high quality.
So
Yeah.
again, I understand what you're saying, these are the documents that I get, I scan and put them in the packet, sure, Andy just scanned the packet that I gave. I have electronic copies.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, if that's we could get one that wasn't scanned, it wouldn't be all like pixelated.
Well, I mean, I could do that, but it's, the problem is, you're talking a very large file. You know, how are you guys gonna get them? Basically, some of these sets of plans take up a whole thumb drive, you can't really email.
Yeah, maybe just like the one page that's like a site plan or something that has the information on it.
That might, okay. In the future, we'll try to.
The typed information is hard.
Graphic.
Bring a sweatshirt with. It's weird, they're cold. Downstairs, go in the hallway. That's me just.
It came up that word you did, I was like, oh no. Fix it.
That was in the beginning, I don't. Okay. And the lady from the courts was just saying that. Frozen. Pick one of these, put it down my office.
We need one of these.
Pages have a list of all the variances, Roy, just.
Yeah, it's the same way I was doing, it's right down front.
Thank you.
Nothing they're doing.
Yeah.
Falls in any of that, it's just.
Yeah, this is all pre-existing stuff, and have you had any issues with it? Have the police had any problems or anything with that? 'Cause it
Yeah,
seems-
that's really not,
Right.
that's a planning commission thing, but I
Yeah.
don't believe they have it.
Yeah.
I don't think they, it's not, it's.
Yeah. Man, I go there all the time to get gas. And never really, it seems like people even with it
I
happening.
think the worst issue we have with them in the winter time is not having a walk shovel.
Yeah, and that's something that occurs a lot of places, but that's, yeah, for being a business. And even though they're,
They got a lot of sidewalk too.
yeah, they got almost a full, the two sides.
Three sides,
And they,
sidewalk on three sides of it.
those sidewalks get a lot of use. A lot of people use them, going back and forth.
Well, truthfully, kind of, these people should be here with a drawing for you.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, that's what they, I want to say they came. To the other one.
They did.
Yeah, after they,
Do we have?
move it off.
Yeah. And I'm open to, daily until they come here with some kind of a sketch and explain any questions, but it's up to you guys.
I just, honestly, none of the work they're doing is
Yeah.
not conforming. This is
Yeah.
all pre-existing stuff that should have been
Yes,
fixed
so
when this building was,
yeah,
when the building, and actually,
Well,
It's
it's not-
nothing to do with their work at all, it's the property as a whole, so when this thing was redone.
Yeah.
When it was like an express mart, when they changed it over to Speedway,
Yeah, so.
all of this stuff should have been done then,
Yeah, exactly. So,
and it wasn't.
and the Speedway, which I don't think is part of Duncan, which Duncan is part of some other or whatever, and so. Yeah, before they were, you know. Yeah, I agree with you, it's strange that wasn't something that came up,
I mean, there's. Just.
yeah, that's.
I mean,
That's the proper location, plus it also has.
It's a gas station, and again, this is really nothing to do with you guys, it's a gas station in a neighborhood business, which requires a special use permit, which it did not have either.
It has a gas station right across the street from it too, and in another neighborhood district too, it's
And I don't know why none of this was, and I don't,
No,
I'm just saying, that's
it's
a lot, like this, with a lot of things that I do, I'm
Yeah.
playing catch up on,
Yeah.
trying to fix things that were done in the past, so
yeah.
just trying to fix this.
You know, I'm sitting there thinking that I wish maybe we would. Have, our sewer, who's our new attorney, I'm sorry, I forgot his name.
Randall Lewis.
Randall Lewis. Is this something, if we grant this kind of blanket kind of variances, is this something, are we exposing anything for? The guy at the Citgo station across the street or something like that?
Again, if they do something across the street, I will fix that problem too, but
Yeah,
right now,
yeah.
there's
Right now, it's
static. I can't make them do it, well, I could probably make them special use.
Yeah, but that's, all right,
Until something changes,
yeah, all right,
they're doing very small changes to the outside of that building, changing the Dunkin' signs and everything else.
yeah, little facade changes, things like that.
But it's not really increasing the non-conformity, but I still have the ability to get things fixed while we're there.
Right, okay. Yeah, I have nothing, okay, all right, I wonder, is there anything in here that we should, like, say, maximum building footprint, for instance? They're exceeding it by 100 square feet, I think.
I know it seems like overkill, but
Should we stipulate, say that, here's what you don't wanna have, this happen, say, put some kind of accessory structure that you buy down close,
well,
but just plop that.
that's not part of the total building footprint, that's an accessory structure, that's completely different by definition, if they add. So I was having this conversation with Kyle
Yeah.
at the last meeting. Just because you're granting a variance like this,
Yeah,
if they wanna add on to that building,
yeah,
they're going inside of an already approved variance, therefore they have to come back.
back from that, okay, all right, I'm done.
It's just like, if it's,
Yeah.
so anything that you've already approved, if they try to get more
Yeah,
in that particular variance, they have to come back.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing the. I'm old enough to remember when Dunkin' Donuts only made donuts. Now they make breakfast and lunch and this, that, and the other, and pizzas or whatever it is too, and so it's kind of
Time to make the donuts.
trying to make it up. You know, all right. All right, any other questions for Roy or anything, guys? And I think I will move to grant the area variance for CNY food service groups. According to the documents presented and acknowledging. Look at the question, so I'm saying. Yep, I gotta close the public hearing, I'm sorry, it's. Get that out.
You guys need to say
So move to close the public hearing, this was made, looking for a second. I'll say that second, and all in favor, signify by saying aye. The following tests will be considered by the zoning board of appeals to determine whether the variance waiving, granting, or denial of the area variance request. Number one, whether undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood or a detriment to nearby properties will be created by the granting of the area variance. Number two, whether the benefits sought by the applicant achieved by some method feasible for the applicant to pursue other than area variance. Number one, I'm gonna say no. It's we all know very well, it's an area that is got two gas stations and a lot of commercial areas, although between it and the Citgo. The existence of them is being a neighborhood is something to be concerned about for expansion purposes. Number two, yeah, I think no on that one too, these variances for traffic. And we can literally kick down the road again west. So again, no, whether the requested area variance is substantial. No. I think it's a sign and then pre-existing situations and whether the proposed variance will have an adverse effect or impact on the physical environmental conditions to the neighborhood or district. Again, no, because I do believe that they have been around for a long time there, and this change is not going to make much of a difference. Now, whether the alleged difficulty was self-created, which consideration shall be relevant to the decision of the board, but shall not necessarily conclude in granting the area variance. Again, I believe that. This is yes, so we have 4 no's and a yes, and a. I'll make motions to approve the application as stated, and motion has been made to approve the application for 156, 160 as submitted package. Look for a second. I'll second. Second been made, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. I think our last item is 95 Fort Watson. Area variance Ted Price, its variances for the expanding parking area of an auto sales, repair business. Oh, yeah. Right.
So most of these are pre-existing except for the parking.
Yeah.
And the parking is what brought this to our attention.
Yeah.
Has anyone seen this place?
Is he the guy? Yeah, I pass by it all the time whenever I go over.
For want of a better term, and so let me preface this by saying Mr. McBride is willing to do anything. I mean, he was very cooperative. And he's willing to do anything that we ask him to do to clean up the property. He admittedly has outgrown the parcel.
Yes.
It's a mess, to say the least. But with that saying, he recognizes that and he's willing to work with us to fix it.
Okay. Too many cars for time, it's easy to become blind to these things, so daily operations of the impacts, I won't do that again. Okay. Are the cars still there?
Yes.
That was as of June 19. Front yard, so. Building, but even building height, wow, we don't see that often.
You see the lot actually.
Yeah. Oof. Is there another floor above it or something, or?
No, there is no, so the minimum building height in a GB2 is 22 feet.
Yeah. Wow.
And this is just a single story garage.
Yeah, it's higher than that, wow.
Granted, the same thing across the street, it has a couple, when they were redoing the signage and the parking.
It's in that area, okay.
It's just,
Okay.
I'm thorough.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, no,
trying to get things fixed.
Yeah, that's a main access
It has
point.
nothing to do with the work he wants. Again, it was a complaint that came in about junk vehicles and parking. Parking needs to be determined according to our local code. Any type of parking needs to be determined by the planning commission.
Okay.
And this is actually an odd one because so it's a vehicle. He has two bays to repair vehicles, plus he sells vehicles.
Yeah,
So he's requesting parking for both of those uses.
yeah. Is this right where the county's,
Right next to him.
the new, what is that? Health mental.
Yes, it's right next to
Right there. So there's gonna be much more traffic going out of there.
Theoretically, yeah, but it's so their entrance is maybe 10 feet
Yeah,
down Pendleton from his.
and I think the school buses and what have you come in and out of there a lot for the back entrance to the high school. And, all right.
What is his use on there? To consider.
So there's automobiles, so there's auto sales,
Yeah. Just curious, what he does have a vehicle sign.
So there's motor vehicles. Service shop, and then there's motor vehicle sales, which are both allowed in GB2.
What's it say for parking for that?
So if you go to. The max parking is 200%. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, so if you go to the, so.
Repair garages, 3 per service bay or repair station.
Yeah, so you got 2 bays, which is 6, right? Says so it doesn't say motor vehicle sales in the table. So I've said it before, I said it again, our zoning laws are written.
Yeah, we don't have one for like the sales.
So we don't have one for sale, so I used retail stores, sales and service.
Yep.
So we read it allows
Right, which is.
2 spots. So,
That's crazy for like it's yes. Yeah, it's not, it's not a very.
so he proposed 12 for them, so 8 spots are allowed maximum, that's 200%, okay?
Right.
20 requested, and he wants 10 for sales, 9 mixed, and 2 for staff. So he'd like 22 actually.
Yeah, that's what I count here too, if each one of these squares, whatever you wanna call them is. Thank you.
But, so that drawing is not by any means of skill.
Okay, I thought maybe he should have numbers right, but it doesn't mean that bad, so,
I did all the drawings.
yeah, you did. Oh, well. Pardon me for,
I am not,
I count 20.
an expert. So maybe it is 20, I came with 22, but it super staff, so it's okay.
okay,
Yeah, 2 staff,
okay,
10 retail, and 8
okay.
So that is 20. The repair.
Would it be something, well, is there a way that we, if we said, yeah, we can give you a variance. But at the end of the year, I want to see some of these things that are easily corrected, done, or.
There is a planning commission, so I did this, it's not up to scale.
Yeah.
But this is kind of what he proposed.
Yeah, all right.
I used that sketch there that you.
Yeah.
Gave you a little better picture.
Okay, good. Oh, there you go. Okay, I see where it is. R's. M's and then staff. All right. I got you.
Roy, how many cars are on the lot now?
More than 20. So that's like
So 20 would be cut in that.
20 would be cutting it back, however, honestly, if you guys wanted to limit that too, I'm gonna have the planning commission really. Pull that in, like for junk vehicles,
Yeah,
he's got a bunch of those there now.
yeah, I think that what they regard is. I think in a lot of places where you have auto sales or auto repairs, it's whether the vehicle stays there for an X number of days. Stays in one spot. And I think that's the determination.
So, junk vehicles, unlicensed, unregistered, that's the.
Yeah, but technically,
But as long as they're up for sale, I don't have an issue with it, I think the biggest problem is this miscellaneous parking he wants.
yeah,
I think you have 1 row, I mean, right now, there's like two rows, sometimes 3 rows of vehicles.
yeah, I would think that the Port Watson Street is this main view of.
I think it's
That's
reasonable
pretty
to say,
Yeah, that's pretty-
if you look at, if you look at the drawing here, again, it's horrible. It's not up to scale, so that possibly not even
Possible.
feasible, you know, cause I didn't measure it.
So actually, it's in the photo right here, you know, that 10, 3, and then here. Oh, 1, 2, 4.
What page is that, picture on?
That's right here is existing. 26.
Thank you.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stay going with this 6. You see this?
Yeah.
One, there's a car there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you're not fitting 8, right?
Yeah, yeah, fit in.
6, 7, 8. You're fitting 6.
So, again,
I'll go back. Yeah, all right.
So-
Okay,
I didn't like come up with a 8, you know, a 8 foot, you know, addition, so a parking space should be. Minimum 8 feet
yeah,
wide,
come on.
so. I didn't do that.
Well. But,
But I don't think you should park any here, because I agree with you, there's gonna be more parking and. I just think.
Yeah.
And this needs to be handicapped, so that is an extra spot anyway,
I
so.
wonder if the way to look at this is have him agree to areas where he won't park it. Is that
No,
possible?
I think with a case like this, you need to limit, you know, I mean, these need to be lined.
Yep.
This is where you're parking, period, and that's plenty,
Yeah.
not use.
It's like a life safety.
So I think where you guys, I mean, my suggestion is that you don't grant 20. Because like he said, I don't think you can fit 20 on that lot,
Okay,
especially you're gonna have two, you've gotta, I mean, did I count 20? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, so that's 21.
yeah, all right,
I would say 16 is reasonable.
yeah.
That was the original number that I came up with.
So. Oh, wow. All right, so,
Well, wait, 16, how many did it say you could have? 6? So 200% of that is
8. Oh, no, 6.
yeah,
no.
yeah, I got max.
So let's just make sure we're not, I just wanna. Wow. So. Garage can have 3 per bay, so 200 can have 6, so 200% of 6 that's 18 alone. Yeah,
6 bay garage?
we have 200% of 6.
Yeah, okay.
What 200% 6?
What can have too much?
That's the garage. Days alone.
6 plus, that's definition, 6 plus 6, right?
So even though this says 110%, me and Andy just looked up, they changed that rule back in 20 or 22, the max parking is now 200%, not 110%. I don't remember.
For service space?
For anything, so. It used to be 110%, now it's 200.
Okay, for. And that's provided he's only doing.
Yeah, so. I guess I think if you guys grant that max parking. Don't think planning commission is gonna allow it. It just,
I kind of agree with you. That's what they'll look at is specifically the numbers. I mean, is there like a site plan review for them as far as that actual parking layout?
yes, they have to go site, they're going next week to site.
Yeah.
So they've got, so they're gonna approve this layout now, so.
As a. So all you're looking for us is. Max cover. And then-
Yeah, and I think 20 is too much.
Yeah,
I think
I
16
agree.
is good.
Now that I look at that airflow, yeah, definitely.
I mean, just drive past the place now.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'll drive by tomorrow morning on that way to.
But that being said, he's been great, he agrees, he's
Yeah,
overgrown the space. He's willing to work with whatever we wanna work on, in fact, he even says. He wants to make the place look good, cause it doesn't look good when people come to look at his vehicles, that they can't walk between the vehicles to
yeah,
look at
they're
it.
really, yeah, they are very together.
Well, why don't we take what you said, you recommend 16, right? Then there were 2 bays in the garage.
Again, I think, yeah, so there are 2 bays in the garage, which count,
Yeah,
They do count,
yes. So 18.
18 total.
okay,
I'm fine with that.
yeah.
It seems,
Yeah,
it seems fair and
When I-
overall.
you know, I'm looking at a couple.
And then with moving forward, I'll make sure the planning commission tells them no, you know, no on the license on registered vehicles that aren't for sale.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe, and there's
Yeah,
a
we
junk
can't
in
have
one
those.
corner, screen that off and, you know, just planning stuff, the planning commission is a preview.
Yeah, he can put his own dealer plate on.
But again, this is, you have to go through this again. I mean, there's no green space on the entire property.
No, no,
There's, it's all front yard parking.
yeah. What's this neighbor to the west? Are they having any issues with anything at all? They're, seems to me like they would be the one that had.
They got noticed, they had an issue, they'd be here.
Yeah, and then the other neighbors, is there not area, there's probably area.
Well, also keep in mind that one of the variants you're giving them is that 195, which is the buffer strip.
Yeah, yeah, that would.
Because that's,
buffer that.
there are two residentially zoned properties,
Yeah, yeah.
or one.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, one, yeah.
I think there might be two residentially zoned properties right next to that, and there is zero, there's no.
So you got,
strips on either one of them.
maximum front yard, built-in height, block coverage. 383, which is your parking, and then the 384, that is.
Which is your front yard, is it A?
Yeah.
But that's your front yard and maximum 65% front yard. 40.
395 C1. Yeah.
That's the type of offers.
Right there on the neighboring properties. Yeah, all right.
But not dissimilar to any of those
Right.
commercial
Yeah.
properties. Well, I guess that the problem is that's the last commercial property before they changed to
Yeah,
R4 and.
Yeah, yeah.
I think the surrounding properties are R4,
all right.
maybe an R1 at Port Watson or R2. And. You know, there's auto sales across the street, the guy has
Yeah, button around the block there, he's got.
different situation with buttons, but again, he hasn't really
Yeah,
done anything to
yeah,
trigger this.
yeah.
He might be coming to site plan because he's trying to do something else, but we'll see that's down the road.
Yeah,
But I did double to make sure when I was doing this, because he's not, I mean, we got one on Clinton Ave now that's been existing for a while, but he's parking all over the place, so I gotta rail that in. I've got one on North Main now that had vehicles for sale that can't sell. I mean, it's just, we're trying to, as I'm going, I'm trying to reel these in. They should have been done a long time ago, but I'm gradually getting to this, so.
yeah.
So the gentleman across the street at Riverbank Auto has a site plan.
Yeah.
Has been approved for those number of vehicles he has, and now it's logical then that Mr. McBride now has to comply with all this stuff.
Okay. All right,
Okay,
all right. Yeah, no, I agree, it would be nice to have that. Yeah.
I mean, right now, and again, he agrees, it's a mess.
Yeah, I mean, it's purely of like life safety of just having too many.
Yes, a lot of traffic going on there,
And Alderman Michaels will be very happy, and his constituents, because he gets a number of complaints from his constituents about that corner problem.
Yes, yes, okay. All right,
And
So for this going to site plan review, is there,
rightfully so.
is there gonna be more, is there gonna be more of a developed site plan from him submitted to that, or is it?
I don't know. I really, honest to God, think in this case, your best. Should he have one? Absolutely. I just,
and,
you walk a fine line with some of these people trying to get them to comply,
Mhm.
and. You can push them over that. Compliance cliff to screw you, I'm not gonna do it. Understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I do, yeah, just,
I don't disagree with what you're saying, Kyle, but I think in this case. I've got him right at that. Compliance cliff, I don't wanna shove him anymore.
yeah, cause they'll just keep trying to get away with what they're doing,
Well, in the same token, you have to be consistent, because you have asked for that in the past, so I just. I think we could get a drawing out of him, but I also think he's. I could ask for it, sure, but it's a big ask, I should have probably asked for that, and you know what, knowing that that's what you guys want. I will ask for that in these situations in the future, really, this is my fault, not his.
No,
I should have asked for better drawing.
Yeah, I mean, in. yes.
The planning commission might, you know, but the fact of the matter is we're trying to change a problem. And by limiting those vehicles is what we're trying to do, and cleaning up, you know, having them lined, having them where he can park is ultimately what we're trying to do.
Well, can we partially grant something on this? We'll say that, can we say, yes, we will go revert another to X, we want you to line that,
Well, that's planning commission.
and then, okay, so that's
The parking design
parking design.
is the planning, you're not granting him a variance for parking.
No, we're being 10.
You're granting him variances for the number of vehicles
Yeah,
and the front yard parking, which is no way you can get around, because that's all there is front yard parking.
yeah.
And the 45% of the front yard can't be,
Okay.
has to be green space, which again, it's all pre-existing.
Yeah,
It's all
It
pre-existing.
doesn't really belong for a site property like this, I guess,
Yeah.
but yeah, I agree with the
Alright.
number, I guess, number of cars.
I think you should limit that, absolutely. I think 20 is too much, or whatever number, yeah. 18, what'd you say, 18 with 2 in the garage, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
It's 2 in the garage count.
Yes, the
Okay.
code does say the 2 in the garage, just like the overhang at a gas station.
Okay.
The overhang at the gas station counts as those, whatever spots you, whatever. So if you have 2 pumps on both sides, that's 4 parking spaces. So it does say that in the footnotes that inside, whatever room you have inside counts as one.
Okay.
So not like 17 here.
Yeah, I don't think I'd go more, definitely no more than 18.
I think it's 18, including the 2 inside.
Yes, yeah,
Bay.
it shall include the 18, two inside bay.
So to clarify, 16 external.
External.
And 2,
Yeah. No more
including the bay.
No more than 16 external and 2 allowed in internal parking area.
And so here, it'll cover 2 birds with 1 stone. You say 18 like that.
Yeah.
Unless you come with.
A site plan.
A site plan that can prove you can have more. Sure.
Yeah, and
And-
not,
That you can prove you can have it
yeah, okay,
realistically more, you know, with the measurements and everything else. I think that's fair, right?
okay, yeah, I think that's an improvement over what he was probably planning to do, so I agree, all right. Anybody want to try a motion? Want to give it a shot, Steve, have I closed public hearing? We call for the question, those are the questions, so looking for a motion, I mean, I really don't, I don't, you know, just broadly granting variances for 10 different variances, but if we grant them and then the result of that is the car number, is sticking to the limited number of cars. And then I think that's a problem. All right, yeah, I will move to grant variances as described in your application for 95 Fort Walton Street. Provided, subject to a limit of no more than 18 automobiles licensed registry. Or suitability for sale on the property at any given time, 2 of which must be inside of the structure. And then that incorporated into a site plan, is would suffice for us.
So again, you said, so to clarify.
Yeah.
It's a total of 18,
Total 18.
with 2 being in the bays, 16 being exterior.
If you want to word that way.
A maximum of 18 vehicles.
Yeah. With no more than 16 of parked outside.
Two being the beds,
Two.
or a drawing showing. Feasibility where the other, what did we say, four?
Or, yeah, to expand upon that number.
Yeah.
If possible,
But set a max at that expansion.
No more than 20.
no more than 20 total.
All right, and the discussion.
So. Where do we get from 18 to 20?
If
How do we-
he needs to sketch site plan for that.
So if he wants more than the 18,
Yeah.
he must provide a site
Yes.
plan for.
Yep. Detailed enough so we can determine, and then we want to require spaces be identified on site as well.
That the proper parking measurements be adhered to with the drawing.
Lines,
Right, so,
markings.
all right, what's the last part about?
Oh, that all parking spots be identified on site with proper markings. External, that's outside parking spots. Great, do that, ready, get into all, so. I don't know. For a second.
Well, second.
Second been made, all in favor, by saying aye. Motion carries. Alright. Minutes, Andy sent, sent the minutes, yeah. So, okay, Paul Ford was here last month, I could have sworn it was earlier than, I guess that's still. Excellent. From that. Standing everything, changes in guys, or anything for. No, we wanted to approve the minutes.
I was absent.
Yes, and I was second there, for that. And, all vote, see if I say that, all right, I guess you can vote, but that's. Minutes have been approved, Andy, or, move to adjourn. Second has been made, on favor, aye.
So, without.